Everyone, I'm back. How's everyone's doing? It's been a while, I know, but welcome back to Beauty and the Mic podcast, formerly known as People's Princess. Rest in peace, the name. I know it's been a while since I've been here. I'm your host, Amaya Kai, Maya, Princess, whatever you call me. That's not derogatory. That is me. I am she. And this is Beauty and Mike Podcast, the official audio diary of the intimate and intentional conversations that just needed airtime. And this conversation is one of them. For those who are coming in for the first time, hi! I'm glad you're here. Welcome home. For those who are not new but are returning, welcome back home. I'm so glad you're here once again. And for those who are new, I have a QR code on the side so you all can get to know myself, my brand, and most importantly, the new format of the show. And I'm so excited that you all are here because today we're going to rant. I wanted this premiere to be very intimate as possible. I wanted this premiere to kind of let loose of the reins that season 2 had. Because listen, even though season 2 was great, I've experienced hell, whether it was during or even after. And I'm going to answer some questions about what's going on in Cinderella Boulevard, which is my new reign. And y'all, I love it. I've been going through a lot since I've been in my junior year of college. Can y'all believe I'm a junior? Like, that's insane. I'm a junior in college. And your girl is struggling. So, today, the premiere is going to be entitled The Rants of an American Black Princess. And we're going to do some ranting. We going to rant, y'all. But before we get started, it is Suicide Prevention Month, so I had to make sure I make that announcement early. If you or a loved one is suffering from anything, make sure to call 988 because, yes, we'll also make sure to receive the proper help. I know that in our community it's very blasé or just frowned upon to get help, but trust me, as somebody who just started going to therapy, you're gonna get better soon. It may not be right now, but yeah. So let's get into the rant as I'm getting comfortable right now. Y'all can bring snacks, drinks, whatever. I don't have anything. I wish I did, so y'all can kind of bring yourself with me, but let's get started. So, for those who don't know, your girl is officially 20. The last time I had an episode was March, and that was when I was talking to Jordan Gallimore, who is one of my closest friends, but is now also the 88th Miss Fort Valley State University, and who is also competing for the Miss National Black College Association Hall of Fame, which is the 40th year this year anyway, so make sure we give her some love. Love, Jordan. And after I gave my last interview, I'm gonna be honest, y'all, I thought about quitting because just to start off, I've had a lot of people in my ear about what they wanted this show to be about, and I didn't really listen to what my conscience or what God wanted me to do around that time because I've already had plans of changing my platform, my plans, because it really just felt forced. I don't know if y'all seen it. I don't know if y'all felt it, but baby, I felt like I was being forced with a lot of the topics, a lot of the things, a lot of the technology and the software that I was using. It looked very forced. And I want to kind of, reel that back in. So around the time that I was on leave with a lot of different things, I wanted to research kind of how different hosts kind of ran their shows. And I even looked at artists too, like JT. Y'all know I'm a JT fan. I love JT. Cinderella, Chicago Cinderella. So Around that time, I started looking at how JT, Glorilla, Dolce, Autumns, getting themselves together and kind of bringing up their fan base. And I learned that the way that I started out the show was the right way that they was doing it, because they were doing it so intimately while doing rollouts. I just mastered the perfection of rollouts. And as somebody who does everything like design, social media, gets the word out, creates everything, and records, edits, I do it, okay? So after doing the research and of course turning 20, I ended up going through one of the most darkest times of my life. I'm still going through it now. I'm not really go much into it, but I ended up having a dream about something kind of traumatic, and it ended up affecting me very bad. It affected the way that I talked. It affected the way that I operated. It even affected the way that I saw life. And of course, being 20, as I turned 20 almost 7 months ago, in 4 days actually, and it just seemed like I wasn't really doing my life right anymore. And of course, being in college and having my first 2 years be hell, I thought this year gonna be great. And y'all are going through hell now. Like my grades, my experience, and just more so how I'm feeling mentally is going really bad. And I've learned that I can't talk anymore. And this being the first time that I've been in front of a camera addressing everything after somebody that I'm very close with, who I love dearly, was like, just talk on camera. You know you love to do that, so just kind of see where it goes. And it's helping. I haven't had time for myself because I feel like in that incident that happened in my dream, which happened to be my reality, I ended up losing my conscience. And I feel like at times I'm operating out of a host body because everybody has always seen me as the happy, bubbly. I'm sorry, I'm tired. But we gonna edit that out. Really sweet, real kind person, go through the most hell and not get the most help. I've been calling out for help for a long time. I've been blamed for what happened to me. I've been talked about. I've been called names. I've been isolating myself because I find it so hard to be outside. And I still find time to take care of myself in many little ways, which is very quite odd considering how much I've been through. And I feel like I'm letting everyone down, including y'all, and I'm letting myself down because everybody loves to kind of misconstrue what I say. And I've experienced that so much being at my university. I've been misconstrued so much. I've been misunderstood. I've been underrated. Y'all, it's just a mess. It's a mess out here. Okay? A girl been going through it. And I have been seeking help. I've been calling my family, a couple of my friends, and sometimes their help isn't really like getting to me because everybody's always told me, oh, get over it. You'll be fine. We think that you should do this, but you haven't been able to ask me how am I doing, where have I been, or just things like that. I feel like recently I've been asked that and it's starting to kind of get overwhelming because I haven't experienced it in so long, if that makes sense. So being in that space, kind of understanding what's going on, yeah, I haven't had a chance to really grasp on to everything. Mind you, this all happened to me, right? And then it gets worse. My black butt decided to take an 8-week calculus course. in which I failed with a D. Because I had a teacher that didn't necessarily understand what I was talking about. And then I had to prove that I had a need for being a visual learner medically. Y'all, that already stressed me out enough. And then, of course, having to come back to school. Ugh. A girl was struggling bad. And I kind of thought, like, am I really just falling downhill? I feel like I was on a downhill decline. And, of course, going through a hard freshman, sophomore year, I thought, well, maybe I could just, do better. Boy, was I wrong. Still went through hell. Still ain't had nobody to talk to because everybody either has close friends or some of my friends that crossed, they all talk to each other and they forgot about me, except some of my friends. I love them for that. But I just feel like when people get to things that allow them to do better, they just kind of forget who I am sometimes. And I kind of get sad because even though I didn't hang out with them like that a lot, I still made it a mission to support or kind of come out. And everybody doesn't really kind of understand that because even in college, I still don't have a lot of friends. I have like here and there, but like my true friends, I got a good couple of them and I love them, but someone about to leave. And they just be like, why y'all gotta leave me? Can I come too? And I know I can't because I know I have a lot. Hell, I even thought about leaving. For good, actually. And it's something in my head that's telling me no. But I really don't understand why. I really don't. But all in the midst of that, I'm still standing. I'm still on the trials and tribulation list. But I'm still standing. And it's be like, God, what are you doing? And of course, me being a believer in Christ, or a baby believer, because I rededicated my life in 2023, I feel as if I'm doing wrong. And of course, when I tell people, they're like, have you prayed about it? I've prayed. Hell, I cried as I prayed. Nothing's happening. I don't know what's going on. And I even told my mom, I was like, I feel like God doesn't hear me. Or am I talking to another version of God that I created in my head and I can't really hear the true God, if that makes sense? Because I believe in God, but I also believe that Jesus is real. He's a very real man. And if he cries, I'll be like, Jesus, why me? Because I feel like I have to talk to the source. And of course, Jesus is the Son of Man, but also God came down as Jesus, died on the cross, and then became the Holy Spirit. Isn't that amazing though? Even in my sadness, I remember that. And of course, being a Christian, everybody says certain things. But it's just like Elijah wanted to kill himself. And God told him to take a nap. Why can't y'all give me that advice? Why can't y'all tell me to take a nap? Imagine if I took a nap and I woke up happy again. That sounds like a blessing, don't it? But I feel like I've been mad at the wrong people. Because I feel like I was mad at those who I got into the incident with. Because I feel like I didn't get a proper apology. My life was ultimately taken. My mental, my conscience was ultimately taken. My friendships were taken away from me. Imagine if my family got that call. They wouldn't have me here. I even have thoughts in my head where it just be like, what if my dream went the other way? Because in the dream, everybody else died but me. And I question that a lot because I ended up going to therapy recently. I just started, by the way. And he's like, that's even traumatizing because a lot of people don't understand it. I literally had a dream hours before. And I really went through hell through my body. I ended up not being where I wanted to be physically. That's why I've been kind of like not eating a lot or just kind of doing things that I'm not supposed to body wise, because I feel like I've been fed so much of a social standard, especially being in college, which is so unrealistic, because everybody knows Amaya is like, the thick, pretty girl with the pretty eyes that don't look like an eye color whatsoever. The girl who always has her hair, her nails, her lip gloss on. Excuse my language. The one who's a bitch, the one who looks mean. But it's really just like, if people really had a chance to know me, they would have an amazing time. But I haven't had a chance to get to have the opportunity to be known, because everybody has a false idea about Amaya Kai that I don't even know who that version is. Sure, I have my bad days. Sure, I have days where I'm sad. Most of the time, I'm sad now. Or like days I cry. Like literally, y'all, the other day, mind you, yesterday, I had my first mental breakdown. That was so serious. I cried hours on end. And being in a space where everybody doesn't really care, it hurts because you're so young and you want to succeed. It's just like, am I doing things that make me happy, or am I doing things because that's what the old version of me wanted? I kind of feel like sometimes too, even in that incident, I was supposed to die spiritually, but then gain a new type of person that God wanted me to be. And I feel like the price of being a black girl in an HBCU so far away from her hometown, but who wanted to leave because she wanted opportunities for herself, is very taxing. Because I'm not from Georgia. I didn't grow up in Georgia. I didn't go to high school in Georgia. I'm not from Georgia. Surprise! But to kind of be seen as an outcast or an outsider at my big age, mind you, I just said I'm 20. But I still am kind of going through the things that 7-year-old me went through. And I feel like college sometimes can be like a high school. And when people finally got to know Amaya Kai instead of Bubbles, it's just like I'm a whole nother person. Well, yeah, because I had to grow out of being Bubbles. I had to grow out of that. I had to be Amaya Kai because people aren't going to take me seriously if I say my name Bubbles. Like, mind you, people call me Bubbles because of my butt. Like, and the thing is, people got mad at me for even saying it. If y'all know that app Fizz, though, people were saying, even when I did something, right? Did something greater for myself. They was like, oh, she said that she didn't want to be that way. That's why she got, no. I had to get out of that, because now where I am, in terms of my podcast and all of my social media stuff, they're not going to take me seriously. Mind you, my nickname is Princess because people see me as a princess, and I am the people's princess. But that's not even the point there. My thing is, I had to grow out of being Bubbles, even when I told people I don't want to be called that no more. Because people took what was the innocence and turned it into something inappropriate. And that is where I draw the line. That's why I am called Amaya, or Amaya Kai, or whatever my friends call me. Because I wanted to be somebody that's different. And hold on. Hello? Hey, mommy. I'm okay. I'm recording the season premiere. You're okay. All right, mommy. Love you too. Bye. My bad, y'all. That was my mom. But yeah, it was just like I had to grow out of being Bubbles because I could no longer be somebody that I wasn't. And I feel like that was a fantasy version of me that I can never get back. Because now that I'm a Maya, I've had a lot of people, even being in this industry, tell me that I had to change the way I look, be told that I needed to lose weight, or being told that I even had to change the things that I did, the things that I talked about, because they wanted me to be more commercialized. And although I have a small team, that's essentially what happened. Hence why I wanted to quit. Because it's just like, I don't even have full control over my stuff anymore. And I was just like, so am I not the person who created it here? Am I not the person who made the show? Because I don't feel like it. Nothing, no shade. But I genuinely feel like with me kind of catching the blame in the incident, and this goes beyond this, but I feel like honestly at that time, I'm still learning. I feel like I'm like a child again. I feel as if I'm learning the things that younger Amaya wished and prayed to learn for or about, and now she's gaining it back again. I do this all for little me, but I do this for the black girls and the black boys who look up to me from so many places, say that they want to be like me, because I'm not afraid to say what it is, but I say it in a way that a lot of people will understand because I've been through where they were. I went through hell trying to get to the highest level of heaven again, because I feel like I've hit rock bottom, and I've seen it so many times in the Bible, like with Joseph and Job, where with Joseph, he had these brothers, and with Joseph, he was bullied, y'all. He was bullied bad. And I think they put him at the bottom of the well. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I feel like Job, because God had him go through so much. He got everything taken away from him. He had scales on his body. He had sores. And that kind of reminded me of me, because my skin was so perfect at the time before everything happened. And I started breaking out really bad. I have little breaks out here and there, but I started changing things in my diet and things like that. And I had like a little scar on the side of my face. And I'm not afraid to show y'all. I wish I had a picture. Matter of fact, we're going to look for the picture as I'm talking. I think I probably deleted it on my phone. But here we go. Yeah, like my skin was seriously red, breaking, looking like this. I went through a lot to get to where I'm at. I even taught myself how to put on makeup because I felt so ugly. But a lot of black girls don't talk about that, because everybody wants the typical black girl to be, the way that I used to look. And here's another picture, by the way. All in all, that's still me, going through the craziest things in the world, but I still have a smile on my face. And yet people don't know how to take care of me because they knew how to take care of Bubbles. All the times I've struggled as a Maya Kai, all y'all saw me was as Bubbles. All y'all saw me was as was people's princess. And it was just a lamb. But I'm ever changing. I'm ever evolving, and I'm ever growing. As I go through my mental problems, as people don't ask me what's wrong, as people just ignore me, I still go through it. I go places by myself now because I don't want to be judged. I go by myself because I don't want to get bullied. I feel like I'm going through a childlike state because I've lost a Maya in that situation. And I will say on camera, I forgive those who I was with, even though you blamed me, even though you were the ones who made me feel emotionally unavailable, even though you were the ones who made me feel as if I was not supposed to be on earth anymore. I forgive you because I don't want to cry. I do forgive them because if I didn't go through that, I wouldn't have been on camera right now, being in the space that I am and having the strength to finally say that I was scared for my life. And I'm scared that my parents would have lost me. I'm scared that my closest friends would have lost me. But I understood that I can't be around that anymore. Because that version of me who died in it, she's not supposed to be here anymore. That's why I feel so heavy about what's going on in my life right now, because I wish I was protected. I wish that somebody that day would have told me that it wasn't my fault. It's always people asking me, could they talk to me about their problems when I've been going through hell for months? When I've been in my bed crying, asking God, why me? Why didn't this happen the way that it was supposed to? And I never understood why until recently. And that's the reason why I'm crying, because I never said it out loud that I forgave them, but now I do. Because y'all have a version of me that no longer exists because y'all killed it. Y'all killed that version of me that wasn't even supposed to be in my body. But I say thank you, because y'all nurtured it. Y'all nurtured who she was supposed to be. And now that I'm gaining back the essence that I'm supposed to have, it's gonna be okay. And I've been struggling for months. But I can't wait to get to that higher part of my life where, to the point I no longer have to question, do I need to live? That part of life where I need to be loved or liked because of my physical features, because of the things that I have. But people will finally love me because of who I am as a person, not because that I've been called a bitch, that I've been called so many things that are outside of my name, but because I'm a black girl who literally stood by herself and is standing by herself with those who actually love me. That's the greatest gift I could ever have. Even as I go through hell, I'm allowing myself to get back to heaven so that I can finally enjoy the life that I deserve. Even as I go through things with people who don't like me or stop suddenly liking me. I'm patient. I'm kind. But I also know that love isn't overbearing. Love isn't, dare I say, love bombing. Love ain't gaslighting. Love ain't making you feel like you don't deserve to be somewhere. But love is greater than all of that. And I cannot wait to receive the love that younger Amaya has been praying for ever since she was a little girl, from her friends that she was supposed to have. And I'm making this future for me. And I just want to say I'm sorry to younger Amaya for not using your boundaries I'm sorry for not using your boundaries correctly. But this is the day where I finally just feel like my bad, y'all. I'm crying. As I tell myself I wouldn't cry, but I'm grateful that younger Maya knows that love is on the way and that your greatest blessing will come soon. And to anybody who has an inner child or just be feeling the same way that I do, we going through it together. And my bad, y'all. Oh, the price of being a black girl is very high. Even in places where I don't feel love, I still show up. Because I show up for me. I show up for other black girls and other black boys who gonna look at me like, I can do that. And you're going to. Even as I'm going through hell right now, since I have these bad grades, I'm still here. And I'm so grateful. Because I know later on that even if I go through all these tests, I'm finally gonna be seen as somebody who can be loved finally. And I'm grateful for that opportunity. I'm grateful that I'm grateful that I'm not dead. I'm grateful that I didn't go through it what I wanted to do. I love y'all, bro. And I don't say it enough, but I do. I love y'all. And I hope y'all love me too. And I love me. I love everything that may be wrong with me, even if I'm called weird, if I'm called nerdy, if I'm called ugly. But baby, I'm pretty though. Even when I'm crying, I'm very pretty. And I'm grateful that I finally said I forgive them because I've been waiting for months to say that. And even as I gotta get tested for certain things, and when it comes to my mental, they can keep that version of me all they want. But that ain't me no more. And I can't expect me out of other people that can't receive who Amaya is fully and truly. Because I don't have to be happy all the time. I don't have to be bubbly. I can still be kind and sweet, even in my tears. Even if I want to go home, even if I want to leave my school, even if I want to change my nature, I'm still me. And I feel like, ooh, let me go get some chicken. I know y'all looking like, oh my gosh, she's crying. I've been crying every day since May, y'all. I have. Because the younger me wishes that I did life correctly. And now I know that I'm doing it right, finally. We gonna end this episode if I keep crying. um, I love y'all. What do y'all know? Once again, if you or a loved one is suffering from anything like I am right now, feeling like you're not enough, feeling like you're not loved, please call 988 or call myself. We gonna get through this together, y'all. And if you are going through the same situation as me, we gonna find it. We gonna find something, okay? Free Palestine, free Sudan, free Congo, free all the countries that's going through something right now. Crazy is I'm recording this on the same day where they said the rapture was supposed to be coming. Read your Bible. um, if you're going through a tough time in school, keep trying. You're doing great. Like myself. But also one more thing. Jesus loves you as much as I do, but he loves you even more. With that being said, I'm your host, Amaya Kai, and this is Beauty in the Mic Podcast, the official audio diary of those intimate and intentional conversations that just needed airtime. I love y'all. Bye.